Welcome back. It's time for another book talk video. Today I'm happy to talk to you about the book Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. This was a 2016 science fiction novel. Funny coincidence, this video is for Easter, and I last talked about one of Blake Crouch's books for Valentine's Day. That's right. I covered the book Recursion, which was a 2019 science fiction novel by Blake Crouch, back on Valentine's Day. And I need you to know I've got a spreadsheet. I spend a lot of time deep in thought about which book I cover on which day, sometimes moving things around, changing it up, trying to bring you the most entertainment and satisfaction that I possibly can with my Booktube schedule, which books get reviewed on what days. I covered Recursion on Valentine's Day because in that crazy time travel sci-fi novel, there really is a very sweet love story. A lot of people, of course, living life in real time would have read Dark Matter before Recursion, but not me. I actually read that 2019 book before reading the 2016 book. I actually just finished the 2016 book Dark Matter recently. So let's talk about Dark Matter and the awesomeness of this novel. Just to get it out of the way, what did I rate the book? I rated it 4 out of 5 stars, and that means I thought it was a great book. It does rise to the level of perhaps even being called awesome, inspiring awe, at least somewhat, I believe. This science fiction book follows the premise of the main character getting involved in a crazy multiverse situation in which an alternate reality version of himself finds him by traveling to his reality and wants to take his place. So at the beginning of the book, he gets kind of hit over the head, kidnapped so to speak, and sent off into another reality so that I guess the villain version of him from another reality can live his awesome life. Because, with the idea of a multiverse, there's so many ways that little decisions that you make in your life, or big decisions, can drastically change how the things turn out. I really enjoyed the way that the book then progressed because the protagonist realized he was in a very awkward situation being thrown into the reality that he was put in. He couldn't admit that he wasn't the other guy because he was afraid of what they were going to do to him. He ends up on the run. Even trying to trust people at the hospital or trying to trust the police becomes difficult. And he's not a paranoid person naturally. It's just he realizes the difficulty of the situation. Of course, it's science fiction because of the science involved with the dark matter, the sort of particles, drug thing that's used to travel between realities and how that works out. It's really interesting to step back from the book, I think, and take just this philosophical or psychological idea and ask ourselves, looking back over our lives, is there a chance that along the way we made some sort of decision that we regret, that would have drastically changed where our lives took us, in which case, would we want to risk traveling through the multiverse to another reality in order to try to live that different life? And if we were to do that, what would we do with the other version of ourselves that actually made the better decision, chose that different option, which created that better life? Truly interesting. I personally am not a violent person, and I don't think I could bring myself to harm another version of me in order to try and steal that better life. But it's really interesting to think about how many people probably would do that and what the potential rewards could be. Whether it be that you have more money, you have more wealth, you have more material items, you can live a more comfortable life in general, or whether it be that one true love got away and you could be with that person, or the really drastic element, having a child that might only exist in certain versions of reality. That child wouldn't exist in other versions of reality. It'll send your mind spinning about the greater multiverse and how many possible versions of reality that there could be based off of every decision, every variable, every reality in which that child would or would not exist, and thus then that child would be making decisions which would affect reality and create more. Alright, now that I've put all that in your head, if you've not read Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, I highly recommend the book. Give it a chance, read it, and then after you've read it, if you've not read Recursion, which granted is not a direct sequel, but I think philosophically is somewhat of a sequel to it, thinking about possible realities. That book involving time travel travel technically to do it instead of the way that things are done with dark matter in dark matter. Alright, that's what I got for you today. Every day is a great day for a book talk. Peace.